So, it's day one inside Euro 2024. I'm Nick Webster and finally arrived in Germany late yesterday afternoon. And although I don't have any sponsors or corporations helping me out on this particular show, I will be mentioning corporations and brands by name. And I guess we've got to start with Lufthansa, the airline that I took in from LAX to Frankfurt. Bought the ticket about 2 months ago. It cost me $1,100 round trip. I guess that's not bad. Could have been $800 round trip. I bought it about 3 weeks earlier. They did soak me for $60 though on cheeky little $20 charges, which was quite irritating. And then going to the airport, I thought I would check in online. Not so quick there, my son. They have some issues with their online platform. Seems you get stuck when you have to enter in the fact that you need a visa. However, you don't need a visa from the USA to Germany. So that required then showing up to the airport quite a bit earlier than I expected to, 2.5 hours earlier. And to be fair, good job I did because the queue was bloody massive. Took nearly 2 hours to work my way through this epic line and get my boarding pass. I thought I was going to be in luck with seat 27G. Ladies and gentlemen, never take seat 27G right by the toilets. And as you can imagine, the toilets were very, very busy throughout the flight. Anyway, did manage to get a couple of hours sleep. Get to Frankfurt. Very, very simple from Frankfurt. Frankfurt to Cologne. Super, super simple. And met my good friend Oliver Hintz. So, yes, it's now day one. Day one meaning the Euros are about to begin. Going to start ourselves off in Munich and end in Berlin. Isn't that always the way in Germany? Begin in Munich, end in Berlin. The hosts, Germany, will take on Scotland today. And what we're going to do over the next 3-4 weeks is move around Germany, check out the cultural vibe, definitely going to more than my fair share of games, hopefully interview some really interesting people and give you guys a taste of what the Euros is like from a journalistic perspective. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go and get my credential from the stadium at Cologne, and we're going to interview my good friend Oliver Hintz. And you'll get to hear a bit more about what he's doing. He works for ARD, which is it's like an equivalent of an NBC or CBS, one of the largest networks in Germany. And he's going to give you a taste. We'll give you a little history lesson and a little taste of what's coming up. So, yes, I found Mr. Hintz, and let me give you a quick history lesson on how we met. 2004, so this is our 20th anniversary. We met on a bus coming back from the Algarve. I believe the game was Spain against somebody. And poor Ollie hadn't slept for about 3 days and was actually living in his car. And me and my good friend Hyder decided to torture Ollie for a couple of hours, keeping him awake. But by the time we got back to Lisbon, I realized I didn't have a ride to the hotel. And Ollie had a car, so we put 2 and 2 together and we drove God knows how far away to this hotel in the middle of nowhere. Oliver then went into the room, went to the bathroom, and came back out with a Cheshire grin face on and said, "Webster, I've just left a hot, steamy one." Thank you very much for that, Ollie. 2 years later, we caught up with each other again during the World Cup here in Germany. Mr. Hintz, it's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you again after all this time. Yes, thank you for the introduction. I remember the hot and steamy one.
The hot, steamy one. So, Ollie, I want to go back 18 years. The Sommermärchen. The World Cup was here, and it was an amazing time for Germany. And we went to the game. You went to the opening game in Munich, of course, against Costa Rica. But then the second game against Poland. And there was a moment about 15 minutes into the game, and we spoke about it the other night, where the entire stadium got on their feet and was singing Stand Up for the Deutschland. How do you say that in German?
Steht auf, wenn ihr Deutschland seid. Or Deutsche, it depends on if you say the country or the people. Yeah, it was quite an amazing thing because, of course, because of our history, we have kind of like a, let's say, difficult relationship to nationalism. And unlike other countries where it's normal to raise the flag on any holiday or just in the backyard on any occasion, in Germany this is rarely seen. So when this game took place, I think it was in the Westfalenstadion Stadium in Dortmund, Germany against Poland, and it was a tight game. But you could feel something building up, and then when people started to cheer the team and to stand up, it gave me shivers. On one hand, because I think, okay, how much of nationalism in Germany is a good thing, and how much is it just that people just enjoy being a host to such a major event, being a host for all the world to see, that we also take pride in supporting the national team. And that's exactly what happened at that time and in the following days and weeks, that people started to gear up and put the German flag on their cars, on their rear view mirrors, and dress up with the colors on the cheek, which was not as broadly seen before in other tournaments.
I mean, that game to me was absolutely amazing. Odonka to Neuville in the last seconds of the game. And yeah, you're so right. There was this amazing groundswell, and you could actually feel it throughout the country. And I was lucky enough to be in Berlin. You were in Berlin as well, to go to the celebration of the team at the Fan Mile. And something like 1 million people showed up to give worship to the team and this remarkable run to third place. How do you feel it is this time around?
One last sentence to what happened there. Really, after the Odonko pitched the ball in and Neuville scored the goal, it's really a relief. And this started the whole summer fairy tale in Germany. And then the Fan Fest in Berlin was, we found peace with the team that lost against Italy in Dortmund again. But it was okay. We did the very best, and the team was cheered as if they were the world champions in the hearts of the German people. So it was perfectly okay. Now I have a different situation. I think Germany, in the aftermath, won the world title in 2014 in Rio, in Brazil, and of course the tournaments after that didn't work out as well.
Auf Wiedersehen, Deutschland, Deutschland.
But to be able to host a major event again, of course, there's the football side to it. How good will the German team perform? We have like a mixture of emotion throughout the last few years, but the last games were kind of like okay-ish. And the group is not too difficult, I think, so Germany will be able to play Scotland and probably win Scotland, of course, and maybe perform well. And the other side is the atmosphere. Of course, Germans like to, and that's what you already feel now in the days coming up to the event, and Germans like to be hosts. And we showed that in 2006 with, I think, one of a very good tournament. I haven't been to all of them, but if you ask other people that came, fans and journalists alike, they would say it was a good, well-organized, and of course this is what Germany is proud for, being recognized as good organizers of things. So actually people are looking forward to that. I think it will build up once summer is kicking in and the temperatures are rising, and people will sit outside in the bars and be hospitable, and all the England fans will come in hordes. I already heard that they will reduce the alcohol percentage in the beers for them to not get too drunk. And of course, whenever people come together, there will be struggles and fights and whatever, but I think hopefully on a moderate scale. And people are looking forward to host that. I think the ignition has not been started yet, so we will see whether it depends on how Germany will perform possibly, if they start well into the tournament, I think it will be a lot easier. But on the other hand, people want to be good hosts, and I think there will be, I think, 2 to 3 million people coming to Germany to enjoy that, and we can then show that we are good hosts. And I think this is what people in Germany also do. One other thing is the rising of right-wing political parties throughout Europe, but especially in Germany. We just had an election of the European Parliament where a right-wing party got a lot of votes, especially in East Germany, and to my surprise, with a lot of young people voted extreme right. And of course, this then plays into the whole situation of, can you be a good host, and do you gear up like in 2006 and show your pride in support of the national football team in the light of this nationalism in Germany has been instrumented before, long before, and now with the uprising of right-wing party who some say would rather go back in times that we don't want to have again. I think this is kind of like the key. Will people gear up and dress up and be as cheerful as in 2006, despite they have this awkward feeling of, is this the right thing to do? Should we? Yeah, and I think it will be politicized, definitely. There will not be the possibility in Germany, I think, to just cheer for the national team and just wave the flag and everything without the connotation of, is this a shift? I wouldn't say it is, but there's always the debate about it, and that swings with. So I'm really looking forward to be a good host. I think a lot of Germans are, and be as helpful to all the fans from around the world as we can. But I don't see the summer fairy tale in terms of national pride in support of your national team, that you put flags on your window and all the other things that we've seen in 2006. I don't see it yet, and I would be surprised if we will see it at the same scale. So maybe it's a little bit less. Nonetheless, it will be a good tournament because, of course, people still want to be good hosts, and as even some friends also made remarks with the train system that is not as good as it maybe was in 2006, not as efficient, and people joke about that every day, and probably we'll see what we can do in terms of transportation and all the rest, yes.
Well, it is Germany. It will be efficient regardless when you compare it to anywhere else in the world. And when we think about it, I mean, this is going to be the first proper soccer tournament we've had in 8 years. 2016, obviously the Euros was in France. I think that's a proper soccer country. Russia was always a little bit weird. Obviously, the Euros were tainted due to COVID and the fact that it was bouncing around and the stadiums weren't full. And then Qatar was almost like a Disneyland experience. But now we're back in the proper land of football, and obviously, you know, with the German national team, as you rightly pointed out, if they can get the results going, then the ignition will be lit, and we could possibly see or hope to see something akin to 2006, which was, by my reckoning, one of the best tournaments that I've ever been to. Now, in terms of what you see from let's go with these crazy English fans, okay, and their jingoistic chants. How do you feel about that? I mean, is it irritating when they start doing their 10 German bombers in the air? I mean, I would find that really offensive.
Germans are not, I said, not to have the best sense of humor, but whenever I meet, I'd say, middle-aged people from England or Great Britain in general, and we get to discussion, meet them on travels or wherever, I always tell them, I'm German, but please don't mention the war, which is, of course, a reference to this famous Faulty Towers episode I think with John Cleese as a hotel owner or manager, and then the Germans are coming and don't mention the war, don't mention the war. So everyone in the Middle Ages, like who still remembers that because it's quite popular TV show, then laughs their ass off. I mean, they just laugh because they understand it. Oh, this bloody German, he has a sense of humor. So
You started it.
yeah, you started. We invaded Poland. Yes. So, but joke aside, yeah, I think people will find that irritating. Some take it with humor. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's football chants. I mean, we're used to this stuff, and most of the stuff that you don't understand because you don't speak the language. Like English is easy to understand for us, but I'm not fluent in Hungarian or Albanian or Serbian. I wouldn't even know what they sing. So there could be much worse stuff than this. And also, I think the attitude that English fans, of course, they're like in a good mood, they're jolly, they drink some beers and stuff, and they take it with a wink of an eye. They don't. I mean, I've not experienced the like hardcore. We now invade Germany. Of course, the rhetoric in the yellow press as well is always there, and it's part of it. And I think if it's just chance, well, let them do it. We then beat them in the penalties anyway. So.
As I think it was Gary Lineker used to say, the game lasts 90 minutes and then the Germans win. You know, the Germans win on penalties or in extra time. Looking at the tournament as a whole, it's kicking off tonight. Who's going to win it?
Germany will win. They will. I mean, not anything against Scotland, but on paper, to be honest, Germany has the better team.
But who will win the whole tournament?
Oh, who will win the whole tournament? Yeah, I think Germany will make it far. You know why? Because we are the host. When we were the host in '74, we won the title, World Cup. In '88, we had the European Championships here. We made it to the semis. In 2006, we ended up third. So now it's the host. We're the host again. So I think they will be carried by the atmosphere. But of course, they have to show it on the pitch as well. And I think with Kroos coming back in the midfield, I mean, people envy us for our midfield. So if they perform well in the first game, they will make it far. I would not count Germany in as a title favorite because what they've shown in the past few games was not too stable, and other teams perform much better in the qualification. So I'd say I see Portugal going far with Ronaldo's probably most probably last tournament. Croatia, which is a tough group there. Croatia with Spain in the same group, I think, and Italy. It's a tough group there. But I think also Modric has probably his last tournament, which we thought of last time it was his last, but he's 38 or 39 now. Yeah. And he's in Real Madrid, he's not in the starting 11, but he's still a factor there. But they will probably perform well. Italy with the title, well, they have in the same group, so they will probably eliminate each other.
Right now, Ollie, you're naming practically every team. Yeah. Okay, so can you get your balls out and tell us who's going to win?
France.
France. Thank you very much. In England. Okay. Last question. We're here in Cologne. If people are coming over to Cologne, what do they need to drink? What do they need to eat? And where do they need to go?
Of course. So 3 things to do in Cologne. You go to the Brauhaus, you order a glass of Kölsch, which is served in these small glasses, and you will drink more than you initially want to drink. You will definitely have meat with it in the Brauhaus. So if you order a salad and a water there, you will be looked upon. You might get a joke from the waiter. But so there you have a Schnitzel, a Schweinshaxe, you have a Kölsch, and then you will from the Dome, because the big cathedral is something that you have to see in Cologne. You will probably take the well, it's called a subway, but it's overground. So the train, it's partially subway, and then it gets overground, and you would take the train to the stadium, and people in the train will start chanting and cheering, and then when you get to the stadium, there's like a few hundred meters walk to the stadium. The stadium will open up in front of you, and it's such a beautiful sight, and there will be fans from all over the places preparing to get inside. And I think this is the route, what you do. If you don't have a ticket to the stadium, there's a fan fest right at the Rhine River, which is quite nice and will hold probably enough people. When England comes, I don't know how many will come, but it will be kind of crowded. And they have big screens there to watch the games also. And I would suggest after that, go to the old part of the city where there's a lot of bars and beer and outside seating. Hopefully the weather will hold. And then this will be a big party. Yes, I think.
Oliver Hintz will be back with you later on in the month. Thank you for joining Inside the Euro 2024. So we're 60 minutes from kickoff here in the old town of Cologne by the Fan Fest. And now before the game, the Fan Fest is completely packed. I can't even get in. It's full. And the policy here is one person leaves, one person can come in. And I'm guaranteeing you right now, nobody is leaving. The atmosphere is really building. This feels like a proper tournament. Everybody out here wearing their German shirts. The Scots are out here in force. I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to the next 3.5 hours. It's going to be something special. It's what international football is all about, and it's why we're on this journey together. So the sounds of the Fan Fest and the game I'll be bringing to you throughout this pod. The other wonderful thing about these tournaments is that Cologne is hosting tomorrow Switzerland versus Hungary. And as you can imagine, all the Swiss and Hungarian fans are in the square as well, mingling with the Germans, mingling with the Scottish. I gotta say, the banter is superb. The atmosphere is everything you'd want it to be. With just fans of this beautiful game, supporting their countries. Hey, don't get me wrong, they are drinking up a storm. And it could get slightly rowdier by the end of the evening, but we'll see. So I'm with Wally Davidson. What part of Scotland are you from?
Central. Clopmanshire.
Where's that?
Alloa. Alloa, say Alloa. Alloa, say Alloa.
So what does it mean to have Scotland here at the Euros to you?
Magic. This has been a long time. For Euro 96, this has been a long time for us Scottish.
And how are you going to do?
I hope it do no bad, but I'm not expecting too much.
Well, I'm here with Vincent from Glasgow.
Oh, it's fantastic. In our lifetime, we don't do this very often. That's why there's so many of us here. We arrived about 5 o'clock today in Cologne, obviously not Munich. But, you know, it's just great. It's just great to be part of this. I'm here with my son, my friends. Fantastic.
And so you said, the game's down in Munich. Why are you here in Cologne? Just to get a flavour?
Yeah, we planned it. We were here in 2006. World Cup, Scotland weren't here, but we came as a bunch of guys, and we thought we'd go back to Cologne. So we booked it ahead of actually knowing where we'd be playing the games. So it was just kind of that thing, and so disappointed not to be in Munich, but at the same time we're going to watch the game. It'll be great.
That optimism of 90 minutes ago. I guess that is long gone. A chastening experience for Scotland, wasn't it? I mean, absolutely demolished. And all of a sudden, Germany, you've got to consider them one of the favourites for the tournament. Scoring some great goals, and Musiala, really, what a talent. And to think he was playing with the England under-21 team not so long ago. So that was definitely one that escaped, left out of the pan. Big bummer for England, but great news for Germany. And I mean, look, in all honesty, you need the hosts to go far in a tournament. You need the hosts to be playing good football. And right now, this German team have laid down a marker. No two ways about that. Looking forward to the next time they get out on the pitch to see just how well this German team can play. I mean, look, Scotland weren't great, were they? Red card didn't help. But at the end of the day, you can only beat what's put in front of you, and Germany did that with consummate ease. And by the way, if you get a chance to come to Cologne, definitely get yourself a kebab. Had one today. Absolutely delicious. Little lamb kebab, onions, cabbage, nice little falafel roll. Yep, pita bread. Superb. With lashings of, I don't know, the secret sauce. €8. Yeah, not a bad price, huh? Tomorrow, we are staying in Cologne. We have Switzerland and Hungary. I'll be at the stadium, and should be another interesting day. So thanks a lot for joining Inside Euro 2024. I'd love to get your help to get this podcast out there. You'll find it on TikTok at FootyStud, FOOTYSTUD. Same for Instagram. I'm also on X at Nick Webster. And of course, go to InsideWorldFootball.com for all the latest news, business stories, match reports, stuff from Euro 2024.